Hey guys, 1Z here, and I know it's been a long time since I've done anything WoW related, or really anything on YouTube in general. But I've just been really busy, been working. I'm with my family now, and just wanted to go over some things that I'm doing on WoW to make some gold. Now, this is not a new farm by any means, but from some of the other videos that I've found online, other things like that, there's just not much explaining what's required or tips and tricks. It's like, hey, this is how you do it, and this is the you just got to deal with it. And I always it always drove me nuts that people don't show the specs that they're doing things in, and they're not showing the gear that they're doing them in. That always drove me nuts. So this is the Moradin Purple 3 boss pull. So this is Tinkerer plus Rot Grip plus Princess on a Warlock. Now, my Warlock spec is Affliction up to Shadow Mastery and Destruction up to Ruin. So, pretty cookie cutter SM Ruin build for Warlock. This is what I'm rocking with. And then Destruction again up to Ruin. Now, this character's gear is not great at all. I have 4 pieces of tier 5. Wow, tier 1. So I don't even have the 5 piece yet. I have the crappy princess necklace. I have the decent ZG staff, pretty good. Trinkets are okay, and then rings are okay. But as you can see, I'm still using shadow weave pants. I still have a shadow damage chest piece. The princess helmet still. Just a garbage frost resistance wand. So I'm just showing that you don't need a ton of gear to do this farm. It's a very basic farm. It's simple. It's clean. It's nice and casual. It doesn't require too much attention. Like for my mage, when I'm farming on my mage and I'm doing one pulls and things like that, you have to focus on everything. You have to focus on what you're pulling and when you're pulling it. Why when you have your ice barriers up and your mana shields and all that good stuff. And it's a lot. It's a lot. And sometimes I like to jump on the warlock and do some 3 boss Martyrdom pulls and then just kind of chill out. Because the only thing that's really going to kill you in this pull, and this is being completely honest, once you get these pulls down, is RNG. RNG is just really what gets you. So the hardest fight by far is the princess fight, and a lot of people say Rot Grip is difficult as well. I don't think so at all. RNG can get you on Rot Grip because you're kiting him so far, so there's pats you have to deal with and whatnot. But other than that, that fight and the Tinkerer fight are very simple. Now, I do my Tinkerer fight a little differently. A lot of people, what they'll do with Tinkerer is they'll pull him up the ramp a little bit, jump down, and then pull him to the cave towards Rot Grip. I like to pull him all the way up the ramps, and you'll see the ramps I'm talking about here in a second. I like to pull him all the way up the ramps and then bring him back down the ramps and kill him about halfway down the ramps. That way, just running to Rock Grip's a little more linear. And by the time I do that, Rock Grip's usually padding right where I want him to be. Now, a tip that I have is be an herbalist for this. Ghost mushrooms, at least on my server, sell for about 1 gold and 50 silver a piece. And you can almost guarantee that you're going to get at least 1 or 2 per run. So I recently switched over to herbalism when I saw that. Even blindweed, which is pretty common in here, sells for decent on my server. A stack will sell for about 11 to 12 gold. So very very solid for that. I'm not gonna go get that blindweed. It's not worth it. But these pads you want to be careful of. You pull them, it's almost certainly a wipe. So we're gonna start with Tinkerer here. Now the ramps I was talking about are these ramps right here. There's a ramp here, ramp there, and a ramp up there. I'm gonna pull him all the way up, jump down, and then kite him all the way back down. So we're going to go ahead and pull Shadow Bolt, followed by an Immolate, followed by a Curse of Doom. I'm going to drop Corruption on him, and I'm going to Siphon Life. And then what I usually do is I life tap right here. I'm bring him around this corner. Now hopefully he doesn't do his little gun right there. I want him to keep coming. So I can... Oh, well, he did it right there. So I can go to the edge here and reapply my Corruption. I pressed the wrong button there. And then keep running. Usually if he comes around the corner there, I can get him with an Immolate too. Now him hitting you is not a big deal. He doesn't do a ton of damage. A lot of times he throws bombs. I mean 352 is it's a pretty good amount of damage, but by the time my LOS is going, I'm able to just get those back with just Siphon Life. So he did his little gun thing down there at the bottom of the ramp a little early. Usually he'll do it up towards the top. So I'm going to run back, just Immolate, Corruption. Come around the corner. Now I'm taking a wide turn here because I want him to do his Goblin Dragon Gun right around this corner. He's not doing it. There it is. So again, immolate. There we go. Doom's about to fall off. I'm going to drop an Agony on him. I'm going to run over here. Kite him around. I'm just going to basically just jump down and bring him around. Now this is all just basic. This is very simple. Not difficult at all. He'll probably do his Goblin Dragon Gun right at the top. So I want to make sure I'm not too far away. Because I want to take advantage. He's not doing it. Usually he'll do it right there. Whatever. Just immolate. Agony. I had a Nightfall proc there. I didn't use it. Come on. So we're taking a lot of extra damage here. But again, as you can see, it's really not a difficult encounter whatsoever. I'll Shadow Bolt just for the memes to kill him. And he's dead. So here I pick up the Mega Shot Rifle, and I will pick up the Mage Weave. I do try to keep a stack of Mage Weave on me, strictly from him, to make Mage Weave bandages, just in the event I need them. Sometimes Rock Grip can do a little extra damage to you as he's going under the bridge. He'll just put a bleed on you or whatnot, 1 or 2 stacks of that. It's not a big deal, but I just like to keep my health at a healthy level. So you're going to run in the back cave here. A lot of people, they kite Tinkerer back here. And this is the cave I was talking about where they'll kite Tinkerer back here. I'm not a fan of that, only because there are a few pats that come through here that... This guy says, can I buy a summon? I'm not outside, my man. I'm sorry. There's a few pats that run through here, and it's kind of a tight corridor. I just don't like messing with it. The ramps are just a lot safer for me. And again, I'm not doing this run to stress out. And usually using the ramp technique, Rock Grip will be right where I need him to be. I have time to eat and drink right here. Let's see. Oh, well, he padded by. So we're going to continue this recording. We missed the timing. It's probably because I had to reset before this run. I had a very unfortunate RNG where we pulled one of these big guys at the top with Rock Grip, and it ended up being a wipe, so I had to reset. So the timing was thrown off. So this part is going to be fast forwarded, or maybe just cut and skipped altogether. Alright, here he comes finally. So what we're going to do is we are going to pull using Shadow Bolt, and basically the exact same sequence that we did with Tinkerer. It's going to be a Shadow Bolt, Immolate, Doom, Corruption. Now, I'm not going to have time to put a Siphon Life on him right away, so I'm going to run across the bridge over here. Usually I'll just re-up the Corruption anyway there, just because I got a free tick or 2 off of it as he's running under the bridge. And then I'll also put my Siphon Life on at that time. So with Rock Grip, you want to be careful. You don't want to let this guy get close to you. Now, more often than not, or a lot of times, he's going to pull a Hydra with him. It's not that big of a deal. These Hydras can be feared. So when you get up to the top, you're going to be able to fear them, dot them up, and then kill them kind of slowly. The feared will not pull the elements around them, and I'll show you what I mean, because I'm more than likely going to be pulling a Hydra with this. There we go. So again, Shadow Bolt, Immolate, Doom, Corruption, run across the bridge. He's putting the bleed on me. Not that big of a deal. Siphon Life, re-up Corruption. Oh, he put a triple stack on me. Usually it's only about 1 or 2. Again, not scary at all. I'll Siphon Life here. I don't really care. Because again, if we pull anything anyway, we're going to die anyway, regardless of what our life's at. So I'm going to keep my mana up. Whoops, got stuck on a little wall there. And you're looking out for elemental pats. You don't want to just run face first into one. So you kind of check these guys right here. So I just kind of checked the corner before I ran around it. You have plenty of time here, so don't panic. Anybody that wants to count the time now from pull to when he shows up, feel free to do so. But you have time here to kind of maneuver around. If there's a pat in a bad area, you can stop and kind of let them get to a spot where you can jump around them. It's not that big of a deal at all. Now, as far as like enchants go for this, it's the basic enchants that you would need for basically any farm. You want minor run speed on your boots. And that's really all you need. This character is not enchanted at all. This is strictly an ATM card for my main, which is a rogue. And I just feed my rogue cash. This is how I'm able to get my rogue their consumables, enchants, stuff like that, is basically this character and the mage. Now, I have 2 accounts. I did that because I wanted to try like dual multi-boxing or whatnot with this game, and just the software, I didn't really understand it. The free software is not good, and the good software you have to pay for. So I was like, whatever. I'll maintain 2 accounts though, just for farming and boosting purposes and whatnot. So I use one account to help with gold farming. There's some like dual gold farms that you can do with like mage warlock, but my mage and warlock are on the same account, so I can't do that with this with my setup. And right now I'm really just trying to kill time because we have time to kill. So look, I'm standing here, I'm in this spot. You go to where the ground kind of juts out a little bit. As you can see, it's like boom, and then it kind of angles up this way. This is where I set up because this is where you're going to be able to get your shadow bolt, your immolate, your everything off. As you can see, I'm able to get the bandage off, and he's showing up. I did pull the Hydra, so we're going to shadow bolt. I'm going to immolate. I'm going to Curse of Doom, corruption. I wasn't able to get the Siphon Life. If you skip the immolate out, you will be able to get the Siphon Life off as well. Usually I'm able to get all 4 there, but it's a really tight window. And just that time it didn't work out. It's not that big of a deal at all. What you're shooting for is you want him to be like 34% by the time you get into this caravan or this corridor over here. As you can see, he's already at 36%, so that's definitely going to happen because halfway across this bridge of this little reed here, I'm going to stop. I'm going to death coil him. I'm going to corruption, siphon life. This is the guy that killed me last time. He was literally right here in this door when I turned the corner. It was awful. Really nothing I could do about it. I didn't want to take my target off of rock grip. There we go. And as you can see, taking these little wide turns, re-up my corruption, getting ready to drop agony. This is kind of a bad pat here. But we'll run to the edge, and the dots should be able to kill him. Now I'm going to immediately turn. Oh boy. As you can see, these hydras, they hurt. He caught up to me pretty quick, so... But now that he has dots on him, we got the Gator Bite Axe, which is wonderful. That's what you're looking for. 4 gold, 29 silver. I mean, just awesome, awesome axe. If you're skinning, which I am, you can skin him. I think it's only medium leather, though. Not 100%. I'll look right now for you. I don't do it regularly because it's just not worth it. But we'll check. I'm pretty sure it's medium leather, though. Oh, rugged leather. Okay, well that's not too bad. Usually it's like medium leather or heavy leather, whatever is before rugged. I totally forget. I made skinning on this character to do devil sores, and when devil sores, when that market just completely crashed on most servers, well, just devil sore leather just became a little less relevant. I never switched off of skinning because I got 300 and I wanted to, I was like, hey, that was a lot of skinning that I did. I don't want to just cancel a 300 profession, so. I'm kind of just waiting for the dots to kill this guy. This is another one of those moments that just takes some time. Hopefully on the next fear, we should be able to finish him off because I'm just gonna throw a shadow bolt at him. So we're gonna immolate, fear, corruption again, boom, siphon life, perfect, and we'll shadow bolt him. This should take care of him. Now I loot these. A lot of people that I see on other videos, they won't even bother looting them. But I've gotten a handful of BOE blues from these guys, and I know it's just kind of, it's one of those things. Like, yeah, obviously it's you have a chance to get a BOE blue from anything, but I don't know, for some reason I've gotten a handful of BOE blues from those guys. It seems like on a higher frequency than anything else. Now in here, you run between those first 2 guys. You can run between these 2. I just don't like to because there's an easier path on the outside that I prefer. And it just makes me nervous running between the 2 of them. I've pulled these before, so I'll just run out around the outside. Again, look out for this pat. Now, these 2 are the ones you want to be looking out for. Not necessarily running up. For this one, you're going to like run to the side, and then when it starts turning, just jump into them like that, and you won't have to pull them. But when you're doing Princess, you want to be careful because she has a fear called Repulsive Gaze. Now, what Repulsive Gaze does is, most of the time you're going to resist it, but it can fear your Voidwalker, and what that can do is it's going to make your Voidwalker run into these giants, and if you pull them, it's a wipe. Now, what it also can do with RNG, which is one of the things I was talking about, is it can fear your Voidwalker in the other direction that you're running in. You'll lose your Voidwalker early in a fight, and then you're really relying on RNG to kind of help you out, that you're dodging her boulders, that you are triggering dust fields. The big thing you're using your Voidwalker for is to trigger dust fields. Dust fields, she stands still, does an AoE, gives you time to like create a gap away from her. while your dots are ticking and while your Curse of Doom is ticking down. So I like to pull her around when she's in this area over here. And again, it's the traditional pull. Shadow Bolt, Immolate, Curse of Doom. I throw Corruption and then Siphon Life on. So I like it when she's over here a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and cast my Shadow Bolt, my Immolate, my Curse of Doom, and then I'm going to start running. So this area you want to be careful of. This is a swim zone right in here. So you want to kind of take the wide turn and be careful. It's a pain in the butt. She's going to catch up to you here at first. Oh, that's really bad RNG. That's awful RNG. I have no idea why I got dazed there. So I sent my Voidwalker in to hit her and trigger the dust field, but that was awful RNG. I have not been dazed by her. I've been doing this. Well, we'll see what the attempts are. It'll tell us. That's the first time I've been dazed, and the whole time I've been doing this. So we'll re-up our dots, and we're going to run around in circles. Now, I have a macro for pet attack. We're going to send the pet in. Now, I'm trying to trigger a dust field. So he's attacking, and then pet follow. So here he comes. Perfect. Now, my dots are low. So I actually want to go back to reapply my dots. You don't have to do this. Now, some people, they do double Curse of Doom. I prefer to amplify Curse and then Curse of Agony here. This is just me. I prefer rolling from there. I like that one Curse of Doom, and then I'm done. Here I have plenty of life, so I can go ahead and life tap. But I just prefer running like this. Now, what I will do if she does a dust field where I'm able to cast an Immolate, I'll do it. But I'm not going to go out of my way to cast an Immolate on a dust field. So like for instance right here, if I can trigger a dust field right here, I will go ahead. So I'm sending him in. I have a macro for pet attack and pet follow. I'm trying to get her to... So he resisted the Repulsive Gaze. That's great. So she's just not doing dust field. Now this is some of the RNG. There we go. This is some of the RNG that I was talking about though, where there are times where she'll just not cast dust field. And I've had it happen before where she just doesn't do it. She's not cooperating with me at all. And she'll get right up on you and then just straight up kill you because she just isn't casting dust field. She doesn't have to. She usually does. If there's something on her attacking her, she will cast dust field. But by no means is it in her programming or whatever, the algorithm that they used for her abilities that she has to cast dust field. It's fully RNG. There's been times where she's just right on top of me for I've popped my shield on the Voidwalker, and she's still just pounding away and killing me. Now at this point, she's going slow because her health is so low. We can sit back and we can drop an Immolate on her. We can go ahead and siphon soul to get shards, but we're fine on shards. As you can see, we have 19. So we're gonna go in, get the loot. A Blackstone ring that's super unfortunate. This is the worst. This is the worst two things you can get. I got Blackstone ring on my first run, which is awful. They're unique. Don't even get me started on uniques, like in your bags. Like I get it. I can't equip 2 of them, but like Blizzard, come on. So a way to save a shard here is by the macro / pet stay and then run away. Oh, let's see how many total victories we have. It's 111 total victories, and I've only been stunned 1 time. So 1 in 111, I guess, would be the safe ratio for me. So I'll go ahead, pet stay, run away from him, and eventually it's going to refill. Boom, and there it is. So this is a very effective run. It's a very, like I said, a very casual run. RNG, like anything, can take you out. You could be running a very nice, clean run, and then RNG just comes in and swoops in and says, yeah, not today. But all in all, this is a solid gold farm. You make solid gold here. If you have an enchanter, you get a decent amount of greens here. Now, the great thing about these greens, she has a chance to drop 2 to 3 greens at a time. And then, their level varying from level 40, like 44 to 51, I believe, is what you can get from her, or 50. A lot of times you get Dream Dust from this, which Dream Dust is a very expensive dust. At least on my server it is. And then Nether Essence, which is the big boys. Those are the ones you're looking for. So you have chances to get those as well. As far as the blues go, you don't want to be disenchanting these. You want to be vendoring these. You get small brilliant shards from these, so it's just really not worth it. It's just absolute crap. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them below. I'm more than happy to discuss. we're going to be doing more of these as I learn these. I'm learning them all at one pull on my mage right now, and other tips and tricks for Classic and WoW in general. For those of you that subbed back in the Legion days, you know that I played a ton of Legion. So I plan to return to something like that. We are currently on 360s right, or I'm sorry, 460s right now. We have Paladin, Rogue, Mage, and Warlock at 60, and we're working on the Warrior right now, who's level 42. So stay tuned. I hope to see you guys at another video, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, whatever it is.